very happy to be here because my whole life has been about data science, software engineering, network engineering. I left the shores of Ghana to the US after completing Opokwari Secondary School, and I've been studying and working there since 2005. Because of digitalization, now I can work here from the comfort of Ghana, be closer to my family, and still do great work in the US and in Ghana. So what I wanted to talk about today is about how data science is changing all industries, and the fact that data is the new oil. Like the best companies and the wealthiest companies now are those that are data driven. If you look at security systems, data can help predict crime targets. If you look at public health, even in Ghana as a use case, a project that I'm personally involved in, we're able to predict habitats of Anopheles mosquito so that with larvicidal techniques, we can help bring malaria vectors to a bare minimum. If you look at the economy, now we're able to include millions of people to pay taxes, through e-levy. If you look at energy systems, we can make these systems very efficient. Personally, we've been able to do that in Nigeria. We brought down the cost of maize drying by 40 to 60%, all because you can optimize our fermentation techniques. So data and software engineering drives all industries. So any industry that embraces it becomes a winner. The two projects that I'm personally involved in that I want to talk about tonight is in agriculture and healthcare. Is it going? Okay, so what my company is basically doing is we want smallholder farmers to be competitive globally, by addressing their pain points, access to market and access to credit. But the people that can give these that can help address these two pain points, which are banks and manufacturing and export companies, shy away from smallholder farmers because one, they're not bankable. They don't keep records, so they have a large data gap. They are vulnerable to diseases and pests, unfavorable weather, force majeures, and finally unstable markets. So that makes them very, very undesirable to banks, insurance company, exports company, and manufacturing. So what we are basically doing is we're using satellite technology, GIS, GPS technology to within an hour driving distance to aggregate these farmers into 500 acre land areas. So the idea here is that if we're able to group them into these units and help each acre generate a minimum revenue of $500, which most crops can, and where they cannot, we can help them with intercropping technologies. They can generate $250,000. And with that kind of money, any bank in the world, not just Ghana, will be willing to do business with you. And with that, they can be able to afford all the machinery, all the technologies, and all the experts, just like commercial farmers are able to. So that's how we address bankability for smallholder farmers in order for them to be competitive globally. Then the next thing is diseases and pests. So we use satellite and drone imagery to do surveillance. So chlorophyll activity can be correlated with plant health. So we're able to quantify activities of chlorophyll such that we can create alerts. So just like we're able to screen for cancer, and if you're able to detect cancer, it becomes easier and cheaper to contain. We can do the same for plants. So with surveillance, we're able to do early prediction, early detection, so that diseases and pests can be contained. And with that, these institutions will feel more comfortable to extend their services. Also, with weather, we build localized smart weather stations. We are not overly dependent on AccuWeather, NASA, because those can be imprecise. So with the localized weather stations and with a robust historical real-time and forecasting through data science, we're able to guide activities. So use case is compost application. ADB, Agra, they all mean well, but they unknowingly mislead farmers. So if you advise like cocoa farmers that, oh, leave your farm waste on the ground, it's going to decompose and it's going to help your soil, you mean well, but in reality, you're actually hurting these farmers. So what you really need is a smart technology. And what this smart technology does is we can actually quantify the right timing where this compost needs to be applied. Why? Because it's a decomposition process. Heat is generated. So if you don't know the right temperature, the dew point, soil moisture, etc., and all the atmospheric parameters that are relevant to help the decomposition process, you actually fry your soil. So that's why smart weather technologies are really important. Same with fertilization. You need to know the exact timing to do that so that your resources do not leach or get washed away. So that's how we use smart weather to help make farmers competitive. Then our data we have a really robust blockchain-enabled platform. So we keep records, we do traceability, we help decentralize data, we help maintain data integrity. So you don't necessarily need to trust people because trust is reinforced with our platform. And we do stage-specific best practices. So the flowering stage, vegetative stage, seedlings, fruiting, all those stages are precisely monitored, and the best practices that helps with optimal yield whilst decreasing agro inputs is ensured. Then finally, force majeures. We know that despite the fact that we're able to build all these amazing smart systems, anything can happen. Like last year, maize farmers and several farmers faced drought, and regardless of their efforts, all their investment really went nowhere. So if banks and institutions are aware of this, they're likely to shy away. So we've been able to partner with Alliance and PULA, which are insurance technologies, and they're leveraging our platform so that we're going to make them competitive as much as possible. But just in case some of these force majeures like drought, flood happens, they can help them recoup their investment. So these are how we are making smallholder farmers very competitive. And also, we are well aware that besides farmers, rural people, underserved, they lack healthcare. And with the introduction of the NIH, we've spoken to a lot of doctors, and they're very, very unhappy. They're unhappy because most of the reimbursement are very, very low. Their salaries are low. And because of that, they're really not motivated to deliver their very best because they don't get paid well anyway. So what we are building here is a direct payment platform where we can give the opportunity for doctors anywhere in the country to service anybody regardless of income. So if I use farmers as a use case, farmers can pay in kind, give them their produce, because on our platform, we're able to secure export and manufacturing contracts. So if you pay in kind, your in kind can be translated into value, and you can make periodic in kind payments, and this can translate to like an insurance. And also, as you build history with us, we can help you assess credit so that if you encounter any expensive procedures, we'll be able to step in, pay for you. Then your insurance, together with your periodic payments, can make up over time. So we call it direct doc, where we are making healthcare in Ghana accessible to everybody cheaply, and also we're eliminating the financial pressure. Because if you go to a government hospital, you see people lying on the floor, people long wait times, etc. You have to be really rich to go to like a private place to get quality healthcare. So what we are doing is we are creating this platform where you can contribute in smaller amounts. So if you contribute in smaller amounts, now doctors, whether they're in Accra or Kumasi, can assess data by training people that they're comfortable with, based on their own training materials. So once they train these people, they can gather data for them. You present the data remotely. They can guide that data, and using locally trained nurses or physician assistants, they can deliver what? Quality healthcare. So currently, our impact is over 1 million farmers through our partnerships with the Commonwealth Secretariat Lending, AFAP, AGRA, and several farm cooperatives in Ghana. And for the healthcare, we are piloting in Sunyani Regional Hospital. In Accra, we are piloting at 37 Military, and in Kumasi, we are piloting at Komfanoche. Thank you.